So Valter Walker gets his third heel hook submission victory in a row, back to back to back, which is unprecedented. This guy's the real fucking deal. He's not like his brother. He's not goofy and does the worm while breaking his ribs and dances and gets knocked out by everybody. He might have inherited the glass chin genetics. We still don't know yet. He hasn't been knocked out ever, and it could happen. But I do think he's a big problem. I mean, just look at him. He looks like a fucking orc. He sounds like a fucking orc. He's got a really deep voice. He looks like he wants to eradicate all of mankind and usher in the age of orcs. And he's not just like a regular foot soldier grunt orc on the front lines. You know, he's not cannon fodder. He looks like an orc war chief that reports directly to Saruman himself. So yeah, let's do a quick recap of his career. His first fight in the UFC, he debuts. He looks like absolute shit. He's fat, overweight, obese, whatever. He fights Lucas Brzeski. He loses to Lucas Brzeski. Lucas is one of the worst fighters in the heavyweight division. But whatever. You know, I remember back then, I looked at this guy, I was like, oh, he's so fat. Another useless heavyweight, Johnny Walker's brother. Of course, who would have known? But then they put him up against Junior Tafa, another bottom-of-the-barrel, low-tier fighter. He gets the heel hook in that fight. Junior Tafa doesn't tap. He screams in agony because, I mean, how could you not? When a 6'6" Uruk puts you in a heel hook, I would scream like a little bitch too. And Tafa's a bitch about it. He slaps him at the end of the fight after it's over. And there's a lot of drama there that happened. If you know, you know. Then he fights Don'Tale Mayes, another bottom-of-the-barrel fighter. But still, you want to, like, he's young. He doesn't look young. I think he's like 26, 27. That's very, very young, especially for a heavyweight. So I prefer young heavyweights fighting and cleaning up all of the garbage and trash at the bottom and then work your way up. I don't like what they did with Teixeira. And, you know, Teixeira beats Tafa, then they put him up against Lewis. Like, it's such a waste. So I like Valter Walker's career so far. He fights Don'Tale Mayes next after he beats Tafa. Another shitty opponent, but it's okay. He's young. This is what we want. We want him to clear out the garbage in the bottom. Don'Tale Mayes has always been a punching bag. Don'Tale Mayes beats guys like Josh Parisian, you know, regional guys that shit their pants at like West Virginia, you know, street beefs, those types of fighters. That's the guy that Don'Tale Mayes beats. 45-year-old Andrei Arlovsky's, okay? But anyways, he takes him down, puts him in the heel hook, and it was great. First round, easy win. We move on to the next. Fast forward, he gets the fight booked with Kennedy Nezuchukwu, which just happened 2 nights ago. Kennedy, I consider not to be a bottom tier fighter. Like, he's not good. I would say he's like mid. He's a mid-level fighter. He knocked out Carlos Ulberg a long time ago. You know, people forget about that. But he loses to OSP. And after he loses to OSP, he moves up to heavyweight. His first fight was against Chris Barnett, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Chris Barnett. 5'9", morbidly obese, milk dud Chris Barnett. And Chris Barnett, he injures himself as he's celebrating when Bruce Buffer is giving the announcement. He's jumping up and down, and I guess he just injured his leg. He like tore something in his leg. It was so embarrassing. And the height difference between them was just, there's no way for Chris Barnett to ever win unless he did his spinning back kick that he did against John Vellante. Then he fights Lucas Brzeski. He knocks out Lucas Brzeski, which we've already talked about, low-tier fighter. And I think that's why a lot of people picked Kennedy to beat Valter, because they like to do this MMA math in their head. Like, okay, he knocked out Lucas Brzeski, which beat Valter Walker to decision. Therefore, he's going to knock out Valter Walker. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work. That's not how, you know, styles make fights. right? We get that. So yeah, he puts Kennedy in a heel hook, third heel hook, gets him out of there. It was beautiful, sensational. We all saw it happen. But now we move on to his next fight. I think they should do him with Sergey Spivak. Sergey Spivak just recently lost to Waldo Cortez Acosta. They're not going to put Sergey Spivak against somebody above him. He needs to fight down now. He needs to fight a rising contender, not a Rizvan Kuniev or a Mick Parkin. And by the way, those guys shouldn't even be ranked. Like Rizvan Kuniev, he loses his debut fight to Curtis Blades and he's ranked 15. That literally makes no fucking sense. So tomorrow's Tuesday, right? I want to see Valter Walker replaced with Rizvan Kuniev. I want to see Valter Walker ranked 15 or 14. Replace him with Boudet for all I care. But anyways, Sergey Spivak, that's the fight to make. He's grappler heavy. You know, he likes to grapple. And he needs to fight down. It could be a co-main event for a UFC fight night. Not the main event, but co-main event. I genuinely think that Valter Walker will probably heel hook his way to a title shot. And dare I say, he could pose a challenge to Aspinall. Dare I say. Now, here's the thing. Hear me out. Hear me out. Aspinall, he has his knee injured with the first Curtis Blades fight. He pops his knee. It's shattered, destroyed. He takes a long time for recovery. Now, here's the thing. When you're a big 6'4", 6-foot guy like that, and the cartilage in your knee is fucked, it's never going to go back to 100%. It's always going to be damaged in some way. Years can go by, and it's still never going to be the same. Valter Walker's going to take that fight to the ground. He's not going to stand up with Aspinall. Because if he does, he's just going to get knocked out. He's going to take it to the ground, and I know Aspinall, he's got a jiu-jitsu grappling background. He's practiced since, he was a kid with his father. I get that, but we still need to see it. That fight, to me, is more interesting than a Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane's going to get taken down and put in some kind of submission like the first 10 seconds. We all know how that fight's going to play out, and it's sad because that's probably the fight that's going to happen next regardless, just because Cyril Gane is the number one contender. But, a Jailton Almeida, a Valter Walker, those are the kind of scary matchups. Not so much Almeida compared to Valter, because Almeida is a light heavyweight who fights at like 235, 240, whereas Valter Walker's a real heavyweight guy. He fights at like 245, 250, and he's 6'5", 6'6". I'm not saying he'll beat Aspinall again. I'm not saying that, but I think if they do book him with Sergey Spivak next, I think he does beat Spivak. And I think it would be a fourth heel hook in a row, which would be equivalent to Palhares back in the day. And then he would probably have to fight somebody else in the top 5. And if he beats whoever it is in the top 5, then they give him a title shot. I'm not kidding. Like, heavyweight right now is so shallow, he could be the guy. 3 heel hooks in a row is not an easy task. And I'm very excited for this guy. I picked him to win. A lot of people were picking Nezuchukwu. I picked Walker to win. He's not like his brother. He doesn't go partying afterwards or go to the bar and the club and waste his time doing degenerate activities. No. He goes back, puts on his armor, and starts laying siege to Minas Tirith. That's the fucking guy that we're talking about here, okay? He's a problem for the heavyweight division. Now, people are going to be saying like, oh, the guys he's beaten. Yeah, I get it. He hasn't beaten stiff competition. Not yet. But he's getting there. He's young, and when you have a 3-fight win streak in the heavyweight division at this point, I'd say you're doing good. You're doing pretty good. But now it's time for tougher competition. And the thing is, I don't want him to develop into a one-trick pony. Because if he does become a one-trick pony, that's going to be bad for his career, his skill set. He needs to mix it up a little bit and then go for like a heel hook when people are least expecting it. Because now everybody's going to be expecting it. Every opponent now is going to be like, okay, Watch for the takedowns and watch for the fucking heel hooks. They're going to be doing jumping jacks in the middle of the octagon just to make sure that he doesn't get a hold of his leg. So he's got to be careful. He's got to be smart. I don't want him to like be in the gym practicing heel hooks 24/7. Do other types of submissions. And maybe he is doing that. Maybe he is doing stuff. He just, okay, he sees the heel hook right there. He sees the leg, might as well go for it. And it's been working for him. He's found a lot of success for it. And good for him, man. We don't have a lot of exciting fighters at heavyweight. So, Valter Walker, good job. If you're watching this, good job, Valter. If you understand English, you fucking disgusting orc. But yeah, that's all I got. Like, subscribe. I'm going to post a video every single day. I just started my channel like 2 weeks ago, so we're going hard. Peace.